Welcome back to the second annual BYU Basketball Media Day. My name is Jarom Jordan. We'll chat with Anson Winder in a moment. You can tweet questions for Anson using hashtag BYUtv Sports, facebook.com/BYUtv Sports, and in the chat widget on BYUtvsports.com. There you go. Anson, how's it going, man?
Good, pretty good. Can't complain.
Sophomore guard, 6'3", 195 out of Las Vegas, Bishop Gorman High School. There you go. Yeah, Bishop Gorman. You had a fun matchup last year with one of your old high school teammates, Michael Lloyd's brother, when you played Oregon. What was that like to go up against a high school teammate?
It was unreal, really, because I've been playing with him for so long, ever since elementary school. So, to have to go up against him in like a big college game like that, I mean, it was fun at the same time, but it was kind of nerve-wracking because I didn't know what to expect. But, it went well, and it was fun.
I was in a win against Oregon on the Utah Jazz court, Energy Solutions Arena.
Yeah.
And your role changed. You changed from a two-guard to a point guard to a two-guard all in one season last year. What was that like for you?
It was cool because I was kind of back in, the way that I play. Because in high school, I did the same thing. I was playing a little bit of the one, a little bit of the two. So, I mean, it wasn't weird. It was kind of nerve-wracking because I was, college level, it's a bigger stage. But, I mean, I think I got used to it, and, it was fun. It was a good experience, and, I enjoyed it.
Which one do you prefer if you have to pick one?
Probably the two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, shooting's a little bit more fun than passing.
Absolutely. And last year, you ended up, during that there was a 6-game stretch there when you were the point where you had at least 4 assists in 5 games. You really took that on and did a nice job with it. You were comfortable and ready.
Oh yeah, it was fun, and and my teammates, they definitely made the job so much easier for me to just, all I did was pass them the ball and they were making shots. So, I mean, when that's all your job is, it's so much easier. So I mean, they definitely helped me out a lot.
And I see your hair's a little longer than we're seeing from last year's highlights. You gonna grow this out a little bit?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna let it go for a little bit, just see how it goes.
See some of your highlights from last year, 4.3 points per game. Running the point situation like this, going all the way and in against Nevada in the Chicago tournament there. You did have 5 games of 10 points or more, including 6 of 7 from 3 against Buffalo. You were feeling it that night.
Yeah, I guess it was just one of those nights where the rim was just huge for me, and shots were falling.
And 6 for 7 from 3, I want to clarify.
Yeah. And my teammates were getting me the ball and getting me open shots, and I was blessed to be able to hit those shots that night. It was a good feeling.
The style and persona of the team changed from a backcourt, guard-driven team of Jimmer and Jackson to last year Davies and Hartsock really leading the way. What can we expect for this year's team? You have Davies back, and you have a bunch of talented guys surrounding him as well.
I think you could expect a little bit of both. We have a dominant post presence in Brandon, and we have good returning guards in Matt and Tyler. So I mean, I think you could expect the best of both worlds and good guard play and a good front court.
BYU finished in the top 20 in steals per game last year. You had at least 7 times. BYU was 16th, actually. What was it about the team that allowed you guys to create so many steals?
I think it was just our mentality. I think we personally like, getting stops and guarding our man. And, we can start an early offense if we're, getting steals and, getting in the passing lane. So I think that mentality we had is, was what got us going, and it made us definitely want to, get some steals and play better defense.
How big a part of your game is that defensively to create some offense out there?
I think that's a big part of my game. My teammates and coaches expect me, to guard my man and, kind of create a little bit of offense from, the defensive standpoint. So I think that's definitely, I've taken on that role, and hopefully I can continue it this year.
You graduate Noah Hartsock and Charles Abuo, 2 of the winningest players in BYU history. Noah was a 1,000-point scorer. Charles was in the 900s. A lot of points, a lot of games played, a lot of situations experienced. With this team, you had several freshmen and sophomores last year that now get the opportunity to kind of step into a bigger role. How excited are you and this group to take this team?
Oh, we're pumped. I mean, we didn't finish last year the way we would have liked, and we were able to get another chance at it this year. So I think we're all excited, and we're ready to get out there and make some more noise this year. So hopefully it can go well for us.
You end up finishing 3rd in the West Coast Conference. What did you learn about playing in that conference that you didn't know?
Definitely, everyone's going to play, at that high level pace, and the speed of the game is going to be so up tempo that I think it was kind of a, eye opener for us that, every game is going to be a battle because, anyone can win or lose, of course, but that we're going to play the same way we play, so we have to do it better than they do.
We're chatting with Anson Winder, sophomore guard from Las Vegas. If you have a question for him, use the hashtag BYUtv Sports or use facebook.com/BYUtv Sports or BYUtvsports.com on the widget there. Apparently, you're roommates with Matt Carlino and Augustine Ambrosino.
Yeah.
Tell me what that is like.
It's different, that's for sure. But it's cool at the same time because we all like the same stuff. We're always playing video games and hanging out, eating together, or just sitting around laughing. So I mean, it's fun. I love it. And as far as the video games go, I haven't lost to any of them yet. So I'm kind of the reigning champion in the house.
And what games are we talking about?
Basketball, NBA, 2K3 or 2K13.
2K13. Okay.
Yeah.
And Augustine Ambrosino, we'll chat with him later today. Argentine, played at Gulf Coast State College, went to Salt Lake Community College. Now he's here at BYU. We don't know anything about this guy. Tell us about Augustine Ambrosino.
Yeah, he's Argentine. He's a real down-to-earth guy. He's hilarious. He's really funny. He's already traveled to a lot of places in the U.S. So I mean, you can ask him about these different places and he'll explain it to you. His English is pretty good. It's kind of funny sometimes when you're talking to him, but he's a cool guy. I really like it. I like living with him, playing with him. It's just been fun.
And Matt Carlino, of course, we got to know him last year. Sat out the first 10 games due to a transfer rule, but then he averaged 12 points a game, led the team as the point guard. What is he like off the court? Tell us something we don't know about Matt.
He's just a mellow guy. Like he's fine with just, sitting at home and watching TV for an entire weekend. He's not into, going out or doing anything like that. He's just, a mellow guy, and he's fine with just playing video games or watching TV.
And we got a tweet. We just had it on the screen a moment ago. Brandon Davies says, "Where's your mustache?"
I'm not a mustache guy.
But Brandon is.
Oh, he definitely is. Definitely.
Brandon's a mustache guy. Last year, I guess 2 years ago, you redshirted.
Yeah.
Then you emerged, as we talked about, as a shooting guard, point guard, shooting guard. To sit and watch Jimmer's senior year in Jackson and that team, what did you learn that helped you last year be an effective player?
Definitely the competitiveness that they brought to every game. I mean, it was kind of spoiling to watch, them win so many games and, do so many positive things. It was like you almost expected it the next year, even though you had it wasn't like that. But I think that the aspect that they brought to the game was just competing every day. And those were, two guys that just hated to lose. And I try to, bring that to the court every time I play.
Yeah, I own a game we've talked about with each guy, but it's just was such a crazy game. I just want to get everyone's thoughts on it. At what point in the game did you realize we're gonna actually pull this off, and what did that mean to you guys to make that historic comeback?
Probably middle of the second half. You could see them starting to slow down a little bit, and we were, still going as fast as normal. I mean, we were still playing at a high tempo, high speed, and we were seeing that they weren't really keeping up with us like it was in the first half when they were hitting shots and outrunning us, and I could start to see that we were going to come back, definitely.
Jake Brandon wants to know, what goals do you have for this upcoming season?
Definitely, to win a conference championship, hopefully a tournament championship, and make a huge run in the NCAA tournament. A Final Four appearance would be great. But I mean, as long as we can make a deep run and win our conference, I mean, there's not much more I can really ask for.
It feels like because you guys win a ton of games, you go to the NCAA tournament, 3 years in a row you win a game. It feels like the next level, talking to some of the guys, is got to win the conference. That's a big deal for you guys right now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, coach has stressed on us that he's gotten used to winning championships. So I mean, for us not to win a conference championship is kind of like, okay, we're doing something wrong. So I think we definitely have to get back on the right track of winning, and hopefully we can win some conference tournaments too, and get back on the right track.
Michael McQuain, huge Cougar fan. He says, Anson, Would the team like to do a blackout in the Marriott Center like the football is doing Saturday sometime?
I mean, that would be cool. I don't know what the plans are for that, but I mean, I'm definitely all for that if we can do a blackout jersey.
It's a whiteout every time. Every time it's a whiteout as well. Jake Brandon says, what goals do you have for this upcoming season? I think he's talking about you personally.
Oh, personally, hopefully to establish myself as, one of the best defenders on the team and best defenders in the country, and, just bring that energy and, that pace that Coach Rose wants our team to have, and hopefully just be a spark for our team and win as many games as possible.
Robert James has a comment. Not sure if it's a question, but he says, I know you're too young to remember the original Isaiah Thomas. You know who he is, though.
Yeah.
You've seen him. But your play and look is remarkably similar. Love your game. That's a nice comparison.
Oh, yeah. I'll take that compliment any day.
There you go, Robert James.
Thank you.
Scott Nelson, overall, how has your experience been at BYU? What's been a highlight?
I think just the city of Provo in general. I mean, when I first got here, I didn't expect it to be, this so bought into BYU the way it is, and I just love it. I mean, it's a great college town, and I think that aspect of it has just been great.
The BYU basketball commercial we saw with Bill Hoops a little earlier, you're featured in this as well. We'll show this and tell us a little bit about this experience. And
well,
that's you, right? Throwing down right there?
Yeah. Well, we got a text saying, we were going to do this commercial at the Riverwoods, and we were kind of like, okay, what are we going to be doing? And we get there, and they have, people hanging out on the sidelines, and there's a court in the middle of the Riverwoods, and we're just like, okay.
Like this outdoor mall.
Outdoor,
kind of thing, yeah.
Just outdoor shops, and we're just like, okay, well, what are we going to do? And, the guy hands us a ball, and he's like, we're just going to simulate you guys just playing and just having fun. So, I mean, we're dunking and laughing and messing with the fans and, just laughing at each other. And it was just fun. I mean, I didn't expect it. We didn't expect it. It was caught us off guard, and it turned out to be a really good day.
That's game face right there, right?
Oh, yeah. No
That's
smiles.
Game face? Exactly.
Yeah, no smiles.
Let's see. Jeff Bird, how's your experience at BYU been as a non-LDS student athlete?
It was, it was different at first because I didn't know what I was getting into. I didn't know what it would be like, but everyone's been welcoming and this has been great. I've loved being at BYU thus far, and I definitely think I made the right choice coming here, and I've loved it so far.
So when you're talking to people back home in Vegas and they're like, "What do you do for fun in Provo?" What do you say?
I say I hang out at home or play basketball or play video games. And they're like, "Oh, that's no fun. That's lame." And I'm like,
"Man, that sounds exciting.
It's a great weekend for me. Just relaxing."
You got to throw in like a J-Dogs or something there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Or eating too. Eating is always a plus.
Like 3 times a day, I believe. Scott Nelson says, "Who will be used as the defensive stopper this year to replace Charles?"
I think we won't be dependent on just one guy. I think our team defense will definitely improve, and you may not be even just one guy. It may be a couple of guys. I think we all are coming with that mentality of, we have to stop our man this year. And, who knows who could emerge as, that primary, defender, or it could be, a bunch of guys.
Travis Adamson, are you the best dunker on the team?
Best dunker? No, I couldn't take that award. I'd have to probably give it to Josh Sharp.
Really? That's awesome.
Super athletic, yeah.
Well, we'll have to see that. In warm-ups, you guys typically put on a little show.
Yeah,
that's part of it.
And Josh is freakishly athletic.
Okay, we'll check that out this year. What's your full name and why were you named that? Where does Anson come from?
Anson Charles Winder.
Charles after Charles Abuo.
Charles Abuo, and my dad's name is Charles Winder, and Anson came from the actor Anson Williams, and my parents were big fans of him, and they named me after Anson Williams.
Okay, number 20. I know you wanted Danny Ainge's number originally when you came. That's up in the rafters.
Yeah.
Cooper will remind you.
Yeah.
But number 20, why number 20?
It was, out of the numbers I got to pick from, I wanted to stay close to, 22, and I just decided, 20 would, be a new number for me to pick. I've never wore 20 before, and I just wanted to try it out, and it's been good so far. I like the number 20.
And here's one of your dunks. You didn't get a good approach, but it's still a two-handed throwdown. So
Yeah.
good enough, right? In Chicago?
Yeah, the guys still make fun of me and say it's not a dunk. I just laugh it off.
You should have just paused and drop stepped and then thrown it down. That would have added some style points. Absolutely. Well, good stuff from you. Appreciate the time.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Best of luck, and we look forward to a tremendous season from you and the Cougars.
Oh, yeah, thank you. I can't wait.
Thanks a lot. Sophomore guard Anson Winder. We'll be back in a moment with the son of Danny Ainge, Cooper Ainge, one of the 3 walk-ons. If you have questions for Koopa, you can send it to #BYUtv Sports, facebook.com/BYUtv Sports, or put it in the widget on BYUtvsports.com. And of course, stay connected with BYU on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Cooper Ainge next, followed by Ian Harward and Brock Zylstra. You're on the 2nd annual BYU Basketball Media Day on BYUtvsports.com.